Welcome back, everyone, to Rob's Car World. Today's top pick is an interesting 1988 Ford Thunderbird Turbo Coupe. This car has a 5-speed manual transmission, 56,000 miles. It's based in Danbury, and it was posted 8 days ago. Let's go check this car out. Big fan of the Turbo Coupes. I think they're really nice cars. This is the last year, 1988. Basically, we're looking at the last year of the now 9th generation Thunderbird. And that car ran from 1983 to 1988. It was built off, completely redesigned for 1983 and built off the Fox platform. Of course, it was shared with the Cougar, as we can imagine, and also the Lincoln Mark 7. In 1987, which this car is an 88, the car was nicely redesigned to be a little bit more aerodynamic, and the Turbo Coupes now had their own distinct front end. Came with intercoolers as well, with functional hood scoops too. This car is a 5-speed manual transmission, which is very desirable. This is what you want in this car. It had a top speed of 143 miles an hour, supposedly, and had a horsepower of 190 horsepower. But everything with a turbocharger, and back in those days, the turbochargers were fairly big, and when these spool up, it's like getting hit in the back of the head with a 2x4. The car just launches itself, So it's really like in those days, it was like an on and off button, switch, bing, on, you're bing, yeah, that turbocharger just takes off, So a really nice car. Fair to say, back in 1989, the 10th generation Turbo Coupe was now called the Super Coupe because it was supercharged and had a 3.8 liter V6 engine. So this is the last year of the turbocharged Thunderbird with a 4-cylinder engine, which is a nice little setup. I tend to like this model year better, but everything's preference. He's asking 17.9. Let's look at the photos and see if we can tear it apart a little bit. Not much to tear apart. Everything I look for is originality, condition, and price. This one definitely has originality. This definitely has condition. The price, though, is a little bit on the high side. Beautiful wheels, nice positioning. This car sits very nice. The photos are older photos. You can see it's a springtime or summertime in Connecticut, and right now it does not look that way here in the Northeast. The back has a nomenclature, the small spoiler in the back, which was new for 1987. And again, the car became a little rounder in the back as well. Lower fascia was more pronounced too. Yeah, nice ground effects on the car. That's all factory stuff back then, so that's really pretty. And a beautiful color. I like the silver color. Shows the lines very well. 55,900 original miles. There's the nomenclature on the side of the car, Turbo Coupe. Very pretty. Engine looks spotless. It looks really nice. 2.3 liter 4-cylinder engine. There's the intercooler. Car's got air conditioning, I believe. Everything looks immaculate on the inside of this car. So it's beyond the detail. I mean, everything just looks very original and very well cared for. There's the original VIN plates that in those days they put these VIN stickers on every panel so people couldn't swap them and put them on other cars. And yeah, everything looks as correct as can be. I'm hoping all the original paint, and I believe it is, but those are the questions you should ask when you look at the car. But the car actually looks, the engine bay, if the engine bay shows anything, I'm sure the undercarriage is as nice as the engine bay. This must be the air conditioning tabs here that go through the firewall. All the nomenclature is on the top of the radiator support, so that's all correct. So again, the car looks to have lived a very easy life indoors somewhere. The rear trunk looks very spacious, by the way, and very clean. Oh, it has a really nice sunroof, so that's a nice option. Wind deflector were aftermarket back in those days, but looks nice. I love these seats. These seats have the knee bolsters that come out, probably manually. There's your 5-speed transmission, which is really cool to have. No airbags back then. You may have the seat belts on the tracks on the A-pillars. Those were the auto-passive restraints that had to be mandated by the government. I think in 88, they might be on. Oh no, they're right here. They have regular seat belts yet. So okay, that's good because those tracks tend to get a little bit cumbersome, with age. But beautiful seats, nice upholstery. I love the two-tone colors. The door jamb here looks all original. There's all the decals. Even the light switch here doesn't look like it was repainted or anything like that. So what you're looking at is a meticulously kept, car, and it shows very, very little wear, at least in the photographs. But yeah, like the car a lot. I wish there was more photographs of the undercarriage. The seller goes on to say this is a one-owner North Carolina car, full sunroof, exceptional condition, 56,000 miles, optional two-tone leather interior, which looks great, optional lower body aerodynamics, that air kit, and optional full slide back sunroof. So hopefully that sunroof is an OEM sunroof, not something the dealership put in, but I'm thinking it is a OEM sunroof. So a real nice car. Like it a lot, even though it's a 4-cylinder. Everybody wants the 6 cylinders and things like that, but I'd be more than happy to own this car. Now, on the price side, it's $17,900. This just tells you that if you can shop these things around, you can find turbo coupes out there, with 110,000 miles, kind of beat up a little bit. Maybe not the original side moldings are on the car anymore. The interior is a little worn, and you can find those for $9,000, So this is almost double that price of what a common everyday car would be. But what is the condition of this car worth for a buyer? You don't have to paint it. You don't have to do anything on the interior. The engine looks mint. Everything looks very well cared for. What's the premium for that based on an everyday driver that you can find on Craigslist and elsewhere? And we don't find many of these, especially with 5-speed manual transmissions. So I think this car is definitely worth $15,000. So if I think it's worth $15,000, he's asking $17,900. We only have a $2,900 gap to close the gap to make this car come home, and I think he'd be very happy with a car like this. Again, a lot of people like the turbo coupes, the super coupes, with the supercharger and the 3.8-liter V6 engine, but there's some purity that comes with having a 4-cylinder turbocharged engine that's very European as far as I'm concerned. So I like this setup a lot. I also like the body shape. I think the body shape is a good-looking car. So that's it on this one. So if you like this car a lot, please just go to Craigslist and type in turbocharged Thunderbird, 5-speed Thunderbird in Danbury, Connecticut, and that car will come popping at you. If you're not already a subscriber on this YouTube channel, please subscribe by hitting that subscribe button. We love to see you. Please share with friends that love cars. That's always how we grow. And if you like the video, of course, please give a thumbs up, and we appreciate that support as well. Thanks very much for joining us on this 5-speed 4-cylinder turbo coupe. $17,900 in Danbury, posted just 8 days ago. It's got my certification as being something cool to check out. Have a great day and great night, and we'll see you again tomorrow.